Welcome everybody once more. Here's Professor D Trading Academy. And right now, I'm just going to give my present analysis on Bitcoin. As we all know, on April 12th, I did a prediction on Bitcoin, and this is what we had. The video is on YouTube. You can get it through the link from the Academy or contact me directly. This is actually the video of the Bitcoin prediction I gave, which actually moved as planned, right? So right now, as I said, in case Bitcoin moves as planned and we get to the area where we expect Bitcoins to drop, so I'm going to give the next possible move on Bitcoin. That means in the crypto world, for us to know what next move we are actually taking right now. So you all stay in profit and you are all aware of all the massive drops. That said, I'm just going to push this by the side and update the chart. So this is what we had, right? And we said at this point in time, as we were analyzing around this area right here, we said either is Bitcoin going to drop or it's going to sell. Putting two things under consideration, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete the whole chart, start marking and explaining what I'm marking and why I'm marking those places so you understand. So first things first, I analyze the chart using exponential moving averages, and especially these ones. It's called PDT by Professor D. Self-programmed, only available for me. It's not in the market. It's not official yet, and I'm not thinking of publicizing it at the moment. That said, we are going to begin. First things first, I use the RSI a lot. The relative strength index is what you can see in the purple zone. So right now we are going to mark the support and resistance on Bitcoins, right? Support and resistance at price level, we see major rejections or major movements in the market. That is, the first is going to be this resistance over here. The second is going to be as well this we did last time, right? Just take it to here. Reduce this as well. So here, the third is going to be this right here. The reason why I'm marking this is because we see that at this price level, we had a rejection. Once price came here, rejected this area, came down, came here, rejected and went above, break this resistance when market was here, break this resistance, went up, went to the next, created the next rejection, came down, respected the support, went up to the resistance, respected, and keep bouncing. That also said, the reason how we found this rejection down here, this bearish movement, is looking at market structure, market creating higher lows right here at this period of time. At this period of time, we noticed that market was creating higher lows, and the average area of this space was reducing. That said, when the moment we get here at the end of this, we're either going to have a breakout above or a breakback below. The reason why we predicted a breakback with high assurance or probability is while looking at the relative strength index. We said two things. If market is buying and the RSI is consolidating, market is looking to buy. If market is buying and just correct this, and the RSI, market is buying and the RSI buying. If market is buying and the RSI is dropping, market is as well looking to buy. These are examples for a buy. That said, if market is buying Now, if market is selling and the RSI is consolidating, market is looking to sell. If the market is selling and the RSI is dropping, the market is selling, the RSI is dropping. Sorry, the RSI is not dropping. Instead, RSI is buying. Then market is looking to sell. These are just few cases, right? That also said, in normal case, to get the understanding, if the market, normal case is the market buys and the RSI as well buys. That is normal. Market sells and RSI sells. That's as well normal. Explanation to what I'm writing here is in a video called RSI Basics. You can get that as well. There, I'm not going to go too deep into it right now. Just explain what I have to explain to understand this video. That said, if we look at this, the market is buying. The RSI, what is it doing? It's not buying as well. It's actually dropping because in this case, market is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? If we compare this high, which will be equivalent to this low will be equivalent to this, right? The next high here will be equivalent to this, and this next low will be equivalent to this. Now, if we want to copy this arrow, this movement from here to here will be from this high to this high. So now you can actually see that this area right here will be getting larger as we go, right? Because here we are going up and here we are going low. Same as this, the lower lows are high, sorry, the higher lows are higher, but here the lows are almost at the same price level, right? That said, we could actually decide at this moment or conclude that the market is actually bullish. Meanwhile, the RSI is bearish. You can just keep doing this, taking this high, connecting it to this high, taking this low, connecting it to this low, right? That also said, taking this high, connecting it to this high, and this low, connecting it to this low. You see, you are still climbing the steps, right? That said, to indicate it like I did last time, we have this up and down movement, and we are climbing the stairs. Meanwhile, you're on the RSI, we are actually descending, right? We are descending. Meaning here we have a down movement, sorry, and here upwards. So it's easy. When you can analyze this, you now just come and check what is market looking forward to do at this moment. The market is buying, yes, and RSI is consolidating. Is the RSI consolidating? Consolidation means staying at the same area, something like here. This will be consolidation. Or let me check, is there any consolidation? Something like this here. Maybe that's not okay. This is a good consolidation here as well. Consolidation here also, almost at the same area, right? So you just have to check which case you have right now. Market buy, RSI consolidating, no. Market buys, RSI drop, yes, equals to market wants to buy, right? In that case, right now, at this point in time, we are actually predicting that this market wants to keep going up, right? According to the RSI laws, great. But why did we then instead predict the sell here? Two things. There's what we also call market overbuying and market overselling. What market tries doing is, let me reduce the size of this. We're just going to keep this there. So what market does is market buys a certain level depending on the RSI, and when it is overbought, that means if the RSI, now we are looking strictly at this, just zoom in. If the RSI is above the 80s, this is the 80s here or the 20s here. If the market is above the 80s or around the 80s, the market is overbought. Or if it is below the 20s, it is oversold. So right here, we could see that Bitcoin was overbought. It kept buying, kept buying here as well overbought. And the next point is, if the market is overbought, you definitely don't want to keep buying. You are looking for sell positions because market can't just keep buying forever. It will always have to look for a way to pull back down, to gather some strength, as I always call it, to gather some strength by coming down before going back up. This is a good example right here. Let's just see what happened at this point in time. Okay, we saw the market was overbought at this area, which is equals to this. So market wanted to buy, right? You see the market is buying here, keeps buying. What's the RSI doing? The RSI is dropping. If we go and check the formula, what does it say? Market buys, RSI drop. Market buys and RSI drop equals to keep buying. In that case, here, market buys, RSI drop, market wants to have a very strong bullish movement. But does that mean the market is just going to bust out? No. The market needs strength to pull back up, right? And to gather that strength, we have to check now the relative strength index. So looking at this example that occurred July 2020, here, consolidation or market bought little, the RSI dropped. Dropping means the market is gathering strength to take the movement it wants to take. So we had this great fall. Also, what we're experiencing now, we had the same stuff in August 2020. Market drop, giving the RSI a good drop to around 34 before market found its way back up, right? So this is almost the exact movement I'm anticipating. So now we're going on to the present time. That's it. We have now the basics. So right now, the reason why we did not hold the buys here, or the reason why the probability for this market to drop was higher, was because of this. If we looked at the Bitcoin's chart on the weekly time frame, right? Weekly time frame, we are here, somewhere here. This is when it occurred. The market was still very high. The strength index was very high. If you look at the monthly chart, look at where it was. It was still very high. Just look at the monthly chart on Bitcoin. Let me put the vertical line. This is it here. This is where we predicted this, the breakback, right? Put the line here. What are you seeing? Where is the RSI? The RSI is at 89. There was no way monthly seeing this market would have kept going up. And we said that when we have this kind of a movement, if we are in a trade for a buy and the market gets to the 80, that is our take profit. We take our profit, we leave the market, we don't get greedy. In this case, the market was overbought on the monthly time frame. That means for the next months to come, this market will have to drop and drop and drop. Either it drops and the RSI drops as well with it, or it consolidates and the RSI falls. And what does it mean when the market consolidates and the RSI is dropping? I did not write that down. Let me just put it here. If the market is consolidating and the RSI is buying equals to sell. Market is consolidating, excuse me, and RSI is selling equals to market is consolidating, RSI selling equals to buy. So this is the next movement I'm anticipating for the market to either drop, right? And the RSI drops, which would be the normal movement. If the market is dropping, the RSI should drop. If the market is buying, the RSI should buy. If the market drops, the RSI should drop, giving it strength, giving it momentum to pull back up, or this market right now should consolidate at this area, just playing around 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 up and down, and that will also cause the RSI to drop. Then we are good to go on Bitcoins for a buy. So monthly scene in April, we predicted that this market could not just keep going up, right? So now what is the next move? Going back to a daily time frame, and this was our first entry, right? And this. So normally we can now see that is now this was just a revision to why we predicted the sell, and now from here, what is the next step? The first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to just clear the chart a little. If you haven't understood, you just watch the video one more time also. Right now, the next thing I'm saying is my exponential moving averages act as support and resistance to market. That means price is right now at 37,000 US dollars, Bitcoin price. The white exponential moving average here is acting as the white exponential moving average here is acting as a resistance to this price level. Meanwhile, the orange here is acting as a support to this level. We see that this support was actually respected. Market came here, hit the support, very beautiful, and this support was taken by these rejections right here. So you see that using these exponential moving averages, you don't actually need to place support and resistance. You just read them and you understand where market is doing what. That said, this is the first point of rejection. And one thing I always say is, this might be also new for my students, if the yellow exponential moving average crosses the aqua from above to below and sells, what happens is it indicates a long-term bearish movement. Exactly, it indicates a long-term bearish movement. But when it happens in this way, what mostly happens is it gets a short pullback to either the yellow or to the red exponential moving average and drops back again. So right now, I'm actually predicting Bitcoins to drop to 21,000, right? The reason is because first things first, market is oversold, right? So at this time, we are not selling anymore. We are looking for buy positions. We're on a daily time frame. Daily time frame, Bitcoins being oversold is beautiful, right? So looking for buy positions right here. This was the first buy position at 30,000. If you are in it already, great and fine. If you are in the academy and you have subscribed to VIP, you should have gotten this last month. Now, this market is going to buy. If you're not in, you just wait. If you bought here, that is good. This market, it might buy, get back to the gray line, to the white. In this case, the dark screen is going to go back to the white. When it goes back to the white, because the white and the yellow are almost at the same point, it might cross and go to the red because the yellow and the red are very low exponential moving averages. The yellow is the 5 exponential moving average, the red is the 13. That said, market always looks for a way to come back to these exponential moving averages. When market comes back to the yellow, which is the first, right? Sorry, Hansel. When market comes back to the yellow, it looks for a way most of the time to get to the red. When it gets to the red, then we are good to go, right? You can just look at the market always looks for a way to get to the yellow and sometimes to the red, right? Here, yellow and red. So right now, these are the predictions. Let me delete this and give you the reason why I think market is going to go there. That said, if we look at this support here taken by this, beautiful. And right now, sorry, there's a resistance over here, as well as the last one above here, right? So prediction is bounce from the support up to the resistance, down to the blue, right? 800 exponential moving average. This 800 exponential moving average, and from here with my fine big movement, but it's going to cost some time. It's going to take a little while. So now look at this. Market is overbought. Sorry, it's oversold, right? RSI is low on a daily time frame. Now look at this. If we go on the weekly time frame, the RSI is really high, meaning when the RSI is really oversold or overbought on X time frame, and on the next higher time frame we have, the market is as well not really oversold or overbought, but maybe in the middle, the retracement is likely going to happen. So right now there are actually two things. Either market behaves the same way on a daily time frame, that is, market hits the 20s and goes below, so what I call the glorious entry for a buy, and that said, it will cause the market on a weekly time frame to drop, hopefully. Okay, from on a weekly time frame right now, there are two entries. This is going to be the first, which is around here, and the second is going to be gray. So next entry, next movement, 19,000, 15,000. Next stop for Bitcoin. How low it's going to go? 19,000 and 15,000 US dollars. When is it going to get to that point? As the market is going down, we need to keep looking at the RSI. We see that the RSI as well, there are some certain support and resistance on the RSI that market actually respects, right? Here is one, here is one. On the weekly time frame, you get less, but when you reduce your time frame, you're going to find more. Let's just check what's happening on the daily time frame. Okay, good. On a monthly time frame, we could have this here based on, let me zoom in. We're going to have this based on this rejection, like the RSI came, hit this price level and went up. Same thing here. Hit, went up, break down, and up, right? So what I'm predicting is the first move is going to come to here, the RSI to 58, mark my words, 58, which will most likely be this, it will most likely be this zone. Exactly, it is most likely going to be this zone. Sorry. Most likely going to be this zone. Yeah. So that said, if the market is going down, the RSI as well is going down. If market goes down pretty fast and gets to our next zone, zone 2, here, the RSI on a weekly time frame should, on a monthly time frame, should be at the RSI level 58, right? If it gets here, we get into the second entry. We get into our second huge investment, right? And the last will be this, which we see 15,000. The 15,000, this resistance is a really good one. We have the 50 exponential moving average here holding this level. We see that there have been beautiful rejections at this price level. 1, 2, and the breakout. And right now it's acting as the third support level to this price level. So that said, all in all, the conclusion is this: come down. If you bought in here and you're asking yourself, is this market going to retrace? It might retrace now, but we are waiting, since we took our profits somewhere above here. We are waiting to rebuy here, which we did, taking profits up here and waiting for this market to pull back down again. When the market comes above here, we move our stop losses to this level. That means if the market starts dropping and gets back here, we take our profits, right? It's going to cost some time. We're on a daily time frame. We might have some red candles, some bearish candles, right? Taking the market down to our zone 2. And if market goes to zone 2, that would be great. We execute the next buy, right? So don't panic. Everything is well. In the long run, we're expecting Bitcoins to hit records and even get to the 200,000. That said, I thank you all very much for listening. If this helped you, I'm going to be very happy. If you have any questions, you can contact me. The link is below to the academy. If you have not joined yet, you can join. You have educational materials for free. You can as well join the free signal group. We get signals as well as forex signals, indices, commodities, um, crypto signals as well. Any question, my contact details as well below. You can feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you, and share this video if it was of help.